Today, I'm turning this empty garage into the ultimate workshop. I'm going to show you how I set it up.
Just like building a race car, the best place to start is with a blank canvas. This garage definitely needs some TLC, so I hit up the real estate agent and got the green light to go ahead and fix it. I began with fixing the cornice that was falling down and then gave the whole garage a fresh coat of paint. I went with white because it reflects light better for videos and makes color grading a whole lot easier. I also added a dark grey for contrast so it doesn't end up looking like a psych ward.
So I finished all the painting. It does look much better than what I did before with that weird yellowy color. However, it is like a race car. It's 10 out of 10 from 10 meters. My residential painting skills are kind of like my automotive painting skills. Not that great. But anyway, time for flooring. I did check out some cheaper options than what is sitting behind me, like gym mats from Bunnings. Yes, they were cheaper, but they got dirty really easily and were harder to clean. So I resorted back to these. These are from a company called Really Cool Stuff. I'm gonna go through and install these, and then we'll jump on to shelving and organization, because that is really important.
As I was getting close to finishing the floor, I realized the garage door sat too low. It was hitting on the new floor and scraping on the original concrete floor. So I took the door off and used an angle grinder, the only tool I had at the time, to trim off the excess. Once that was sorted, I trimmed the final floor tiles to fit neatly around the legs of the workbench.
How good does that look? So it took quite a few hours. The most time consuming part was
cutting out all the tiles to go around the posts of the workbench.
But I'm glad I did it because it looks much better than if I just didn't put any under there at all. Now, shelving storage. This is probably one of the most important things when it comes to setting up a garage or a workshop. And the shelving I've bought is probably the best way to make use of the space that you do or don't have. And the reason why I say that is these beams here and these uprights give me the ability to store my toolboxes and then have storage on top of them as well. I've already used them in my office inside, so I know they work. They are a bit expensive. I'll give you a cost breakdown of everything that I put in this garage, with the exception of the stuff that I've been given from Supercheap and other companies. But yeah, I'm gonna go through right now and set it all up and then start putting stuff back in the garage. Not even joking, this took me 4 minutes. Technically 4.5, but this shelving is that easy to put together. I highly recommend it to anyone. Office, garage, outside, whatever the fuck. Like seriously, get it. This racket shelving is really good stuff. It may be a bit expensive, but trust me, I've spent literally hours trying to work out shelving when I was putting it in my office, and I kept coming back to this. I've got the toolboxes in, they fit up really nice and they contrast well with the shelving and the white background. You're probably thinking, why didn't I put anything up here? Well, when you open this, it does that and it doesn't really leave you much room, but at least to fill in this, I can put a flag, Supercheap, or I got this one yesterday from WD-40. Actually pretty cool, eh? It's fucking big, but
to finish off the shelving, I added some hooks which are a part of the racket system. With these, you can hang anything you want on them, from extension leads, jumper leads, or even your hat. Storage. I opted for Easy Solution storage tubs, where I used 3 52-litre tubs to store automotive hardware, spare parts, and general outdoor maintenance products. Followed by that, I then used 2 80-litre tubs to store car care products and automotive paint and body supplies. I opted for 3 collapsible and stackable plastic crates done by Tactics. Now let's start putting stuff back in the garage.
Next up we have lighting, which is important for one of many reasons. Number one, when you come to your garage, you obviously want to see where you're going and what you're doing. Number two, if you're working on your car, so you can see what you're actually working on. And number three, which is probably more importantly for me, is having a well-lit garage will save time and effort when it comes to filming content and having to set up additional lights. So this is one of the hexagonal lights that you can get. It's very popular. Every man and their dog has them, just like this flooring. I have no idea how to set this up, so I'm going to crack it open and see how hard it is.
So it's all done and connected together. I think realistically it probably took me around 15 minutes.
Now, they say to plug it in and test it to make sure all the tubes work before fitting it to the ceiling. So as always, I'm gonna get the wife to do the honors. Ooh. Round two. And go.
He went out again.
That's not good, is it?
No. I don't think it's supposed to do that.
Round three. Are you confident?
I'm scared.
All right, and let's see what it does.
All right, 1, 2.
Oh! How cool is that?
That's bad.
That's really bright, eh?
Yeah.
How cool are these lights? Oh, I can't wait to get them up there. And because they are pretty big, I'm not going to put the borders on. I might put the borders on the wall or somewhere else. But what was causing it to trip before was some of them weren't plugged in properly.
Now, when transferring the lights onto the ceiling, I took my time at making sure the first section was evenly spaced all around, so the rest follows suit. For some reason the mic wasn't working, so let me paraphrase. So as you can see by the expression on my face, I was super happy with how the lights turned out and how bright they are. And I still have heaps left over because usually there would be a border that goes around the honeycomb. But I ended up putting them above the workbench to make sure the garage is as evenly lit as possible. Stage 2 of putting lighting into the garage was installing 2 lights above my toolboxes. 1, so I can see what I'm doing, and 2, to keep the garage evenly lit and give me a bit of side profile lighting when filming content. And again, they are rental friendly because you power them by simply plugging them into a power point.
Just with these 2 lights alone, it has given the garage so much more light and more over the toolboxes. Now, from a video perspective, they do have a slightly green tinge to them, so I'll have to fix that in post on some videos, but if you don't make videos, doesn't matter. Decorating your garage. Now, this is completely personal preference, but for me, I want to hang up some flags that I got online that are relative to me, along with flags of brands that I work with, and well, I have a few safety hazards that I found on the road and need to be cleaned up. So I'll hang up some of those and a few other knickknacks that I have. Part of the wall here does look a little bit blank, so I probably will add another road sign here, probably get them from the parents' place. And I do want to put a quote down the bottom of the wall here where the air hose is, just because I think it'll add a nice touch. And who doesn't love a good quote? Safety, fire safety, safety in general is something a lot of you pay off when you're working in your car and when you set up a garage. But today we are not doing that. I have decked out some basic safety in this garage. One is a 1 kilo fire extinguisher near an exit for extra safety, and obviously with the appropriate legal signage. Following that, we have a fire blanket which is obviously not near the oils where it would be used, because what good is this if it is on fire? Following that, we also have a first aid kit. This is actually a handyman's first aid kit. You can get it from Supercheap Auto. Actually, everything here you can get from Supercheap Auto for the most part. Make sure you have a fire extinguisher and a first aid kit for in case you set something on fire or cut your leg off. Don't do that. Equipment and accessories. One of them that you should put in your garage is a retractable electrical cable reel, extension reel, whatever you want to call it, so you aren't around trying to undo and do up extension leads. Following that, on this same genre, but different breed, I guess you could say, is a retractable air hose reel. Now this one has been professionally installed by yours truly and has been run all the way from the air compressor, number one, so I can still use outlets here with a unwindable air hose. And because I'm basically an interior designer, I thought, you know what? Let's get a gray hose so it matches the windows and obviously the window surrounds and the workbench. So for more interior designing advice, don't come to me. Following that, we have a vise. This is a 150mm swivel vise from Supercheap Auto. It's grey, but it's fantastic. You can undo it, you can move it around. Again, when you're working on cars or doing any fab work or just want to have a vise to get things gripped, that is exactly what you need. As you saw earlier in the video, I put this on the bench. This is a shop press, 6,000 kilos. Again, if you want to press out ball joints, bearings, or just have something that is just not good enough for a hammer. Similar to a turbo, but obviously not as fun. An air compressor, it compresses air. Very handy for pumping up tires, sanding, grinding, painting, and just honestly, this is a staple item to have in your garage. So make sure you get one. Supercheap Auto, sell them, Blackridge, go down and get one.
How much did it cost? Well, to save you time, here is a quick breakdown of all the expenses.
And this is how I've set up the ultimate workshop, which is my garage. Everything in here is rental friendly, can be packed down into a box or a truck and moved to another location. And everything in here has been put here with a purpose to maintain practicality and functionality, whether it's air hose reels, power cord reels, compressors, storage solutions, shelving that has made use of the space that I do and don't have, as well as everything having a, I guess, visual appealing nature, whether it's brands that I work with, things that have been stored, or, well, parts that you've pulled off a car. Keep an eye out for that. But one thing I do need to fix, which won't be in this episode, but in one in the future, is all this. This is what they don't show you on the internet. All the unorganized disarray of being a car guy. We've got K24 cylinder heads, K24 engines, dry sump lines, and just other rubbish. So I'll probably use some more racket storage for this, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and that it has shown you that you can have a practical, well-lit and just awesome garage on a budget, and if you are in a rental, which a lot of us are. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Safety, we all pay it off when working on cars and shouldn't, and also do the same with our workshops. And that is something I have not done with this project. Just keep rolling. And yeah, I forgot what I'm saying, but I'm just gonna keep throwing this fire extinguisher until I think of something to say. Or my wife says, cut. Cut. Possible to have an awesome garage in a rental, which a lot of people are don't do that. But what you do need is some awesome accessories. Nah, f that. Power cords. Rolling up extension cords. Keep rolling. Have a minimum first aid kit. That is not a first aid kit. This is a fire extinguisher. Make sure you have a fire extinguisher.